friends, welcome to Knit Mania. I will put what episode it is in type because I don't remember. I want to say it's 8, but it's been so long, I don't know. So normally I really try to just start with the knitting since this is a knitting podcast, but I did want to explain why I haven't been doing the podcast. I committed to doing it once a week, and I do want to keep with that commitment. But sometimes things happen in life, and so I had something happen. The story is so stupid. Like, I wish I had this like great, exciting like story about how I injured myself, but I don't. No, I just have a stupid one. So I got my carpets cleaned on June 3rd, and guy did a great job. And it was a warm day, and I had my 3 dogs outside. I'm gonna put pictures of my 3 dogs at the end. I think I've decided that that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna put some like life pictures, maybe even videos at the end. So if you're interested in my life, you can watch them, and if you don't, you can just cut it off when I'm done with the knitting stuff. But I digress. So Carpet Man left. It was hot. I let in my dogs as soon as they left. And then just as I was like opening the sliding glass door, I realized that I hadn't shut the dog gate that separates our first floor from our second floor. And of course, the stairs are all carpet, and it's cream carpet. So I started running as fast as I could to close the gate. And of course, that's super exciting for dogs, right? When their owner's running. So the dogs are running with me, which has happened before. What hasn't happened before is that as I was going around the corner to our entryway where the dog gate is, one of my dogs, Charlie, darted right in front of me. And I was going full speed. Okay, granted, my full speed isn't that fast, but it was fast enough that when I like flew over the dog and landed on the tile floor, that I broke my shoulder in 2 places. Yeah, that is very painful, by the way, for any of you guys who haven't broken your shoulder yet. One of the most painful things that has happened in my life, and I've had lots of illnesses and surgeries, so that's saying a lot. So I've just been in too much pain to even think about recording, but I decided I wanted to get started. As you can imagine, I haven't done very much knitting, although I will say I am proud of myself. I knit before my accident, on the day of my accident, but I have knit every day since then, except for yesterday. So long story short, it really is a long story, but when I went to the ER on June 3rd, they said I had 1 partial fracture. The truth is that I had 1 partial fracture and 1 complete fracture, but I didn't find that out until yesterday. So my pain has been like increasing because I was not protecting the place that's actually completely broken. And anyway, yeah, I did not knit yesterday because I was in too much pain. The other thing that's kind of weird, and I guess I don't know, just weird, is that I'm a continental knitter. So normally I hold my yarn in my left hand, but when you're doing that, there is a twisting motion, and that twisting motion was too painful to do. So I had to switch over to being an English or throwing knitter. So what that did, I'll show you. I was working on this yarn, or this sock, when it happened, and oh gosh, Well, I was gonna say you can totally see, but I think it's too subtle to actually be able to see on the camera, but you might be able to. That my gauge, oh yeah, you can. See how it got wider right here? Sorry, shouldn't be using my middle finger. So yeah, funky, got bigger, got looser, gauge totally changed. And then, you know, of course I had all these plans for summer sock camp that I was gonna do so many socks, and that's just gone totally out the window. And I have released that. I'm not angry anymore, although I was for a little while. So then here's the second sock, which this is the third time that I've done the second sock. So here's the story on that. The first one, my gauge was so loose that it was just not livable. So I ripped that out. The second time I was doing much better, but did a rookie mistake and was doing 2x2 ribbing, had finished all the ribbing and was about 20 rows into the leg when I went, wait, did I do 1x1 ribbing on the first sock? And sure enough, I did. So had to rip it out a second time. So third time's the charm, almost done with the ribbing, not even gonna finish one pair of socks in June for summer sock camp. But you know, pretty good excuse. The other thing that I've been doing consistently every week is a hexie puff. No hexie puff. Trying to use the needles that I've been using with a hexie puff was painful, and I just decided no, like I don't want to impede my recovery. So I've been trying to do some embroidery. It's not terrible. It's not great. But I also know like there's got to be a better way, because look at the back. It's a super mess. I'm like, I really want to know if her back was that bad when she did embroidery. I don't know how you could do it any differently, because you you knit the front and back at the same time. So it's not like I could you know, just embroider the front, which would be you know, I would think the standard way to do it. So I guess I could try to, like the ones that I want to do embroidery, knit them flat and then embroider and then stuff and stitch. But that feels really complicated for just a little hexie puff. What do you guys think? Anybody that's done embroidery on knitting, I would love suggestions, help, or opinions. Yeah, but I didn't love, I don't love just the plain ones for the hexie puffs. So that is my plan, is to do embroidery on them. And actually, I think the embroidery is pretty fun. So I'm not against that. I did get like a whole plastic container of floss, embroidery floss. So I'm kind of excited about that. Okay, so that's it for my non-finished, finished objects and works in progress. So this could be a super, super short podcast, except that I have about a bajillion things to show from Happy Meal and Presents and Scrappy Swap. So I'm gonna do it. If you like that, then that's fantastic, and thank you for staying. And if you don't, I understand. Feel free to just leave or to watch as much as you want. I don't even know where to start. I guess I'm gonna kind of start chronologically. So I got my RowOne, and if you watched my podcast before, you know that I absolutely love RowOne. I've been happy with every month's subscription. This is one of my favorites. And I've been, oh, this is also one of my favorites. Look at how cool that one is. So this is by Pancake and Lulu, fun name. And I really do like all of the ones here. And even though I don't normally buy solids or even tonals, I'm just very into variegated and speckled and all of that. there were quite a few tonals in here, and I really, really like them. And so I'm really glad that that's what she included, about half of the variegated and half of the tonals. Look at, like, this is pretty. There's some gold in there, along with the really pretty different variegations of pink. So just beautiful. This is a very dangerous subscription for me because she's got such great taste, that she features fantastic dyers, and then I go onto the dyers Etsy or wherever they're selling, and I buy their stuff. So yeah, really happy with that. They usually have some kind of little treat. So this is a Zot's cherry treat. I haven't had it yet. And then they have, you know, like about the dyer. So it's great. And most of these, like when you see them, they're not banded with the name of the dyer and the name of the colorway. So she really goes, like, she does the extra, I guess I would say. Goes the extra mile. That's what I really wanted to say. So that's RowOne. I highly recommend. Okay. And then speaking about that, I think 2 months ago, RowOne had Birch Die Works. And I went on and on about one of the colorways, and it is called Here Comes the Smolder, and I had to buy it. And oh, it is one of my favorite colorways ever. I just think it is gorgeous. But I really liked Birch Die Works when I went onto their site. So then I had to get Patina. Again, super happy with this one. And I told myself that I was only going to get one extra, but I couldn't decide between Patina and Tall Tale. It's really not showing up. It's really getting washed out more than I wish it was. But you can see, it's just gorgeous. So I ended up getting 3 skeins, and which of course is more than what I should have gotten, but I don't regret it because they're all really gorgeous. And she was sweet and included a soak, which I love, and yuzu, which is my favorite. So, sorry, not sorry. And it is, I pretty much only buy sock right now. I am trying to work up to doing DK and doing DK socks, especially because my husband wants that. So this is all on her sock base, and it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and I love it. And it's really, really plush, soft feeling. So I'm excited to knit up something with her stuff, and I will let you know what it feels like. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, okay. So even though I broke my shoulder and I wasn't feeling well, I had an anniversary. So it's my 21st anniversary, and it's on the 21st, and it's 2021. So it felt wrong to not do anything. And my husband felt that way too. And we did absolutely nothing on our 20th last year, even though we were planning on doing, you know, a pretty big trip because of, you know, hello COVID. So we went to San Diego, which is kind of our default. And we went to the Gas Lamp. If you know San Diego, that's kind of like the restaurant bar area. And we stayed at the Grand Horton, which is our favorite hotel. It's really like classy, old-timey. Every room has like unique antique furniture. So it doesn't have a lot of the amenities that maybe a lot of people like. It doesn't have a pool or a spa. It doesn't have an exercise room. But it's just, it feels like you're going back in time, and it's really beautiful. Like they have an atrium that you can hang out in. And so I don't know, that's just our vibe that we like. So went there. Hi, okay, I'm back. I totally freaked out because I saw my microphone like next to my little tripod. It wasn't on me, and I didn't know if it was on, so I didn't know if all that time that I'd been babbling if you couldn't hear it, which was true like the first 2 or 3 episodes of mine. So I played a little bit back, and I could hear me just fine. I pray that you will be able to too. So back to my San Diego story. Did a lot of great things. Got to have dinner with my daughter Savannah and her husband Aaron, who we love dearly. Went to the best dumpling place called Din Tai Fung, and in San Diego is the only one in the U.S., but there's several like in China, and that's how good it is. And you can watch them making the dumplings, and they are just phenomenal. But anyway, I digress again. So as part of our anniversary trip, we went to Liberty Station, which is a favorite of ours. And at Liberty Station, there is a yarn shop called Apricot. And the owner was fabulous, and they did have different yarns. I always try to buy something local, especially if they have it. So this one is called La Jolla. Sorry, I'm even more awkward than normal because I'm one-armed. And it is 100% superwash merino, so won't be socks. Don't know what it will be because I just got the one skein. But, oh, it feels so good. And I don't know if you can see how incredibly variegated speckled it is, but it's really beautiful. And then I got another one that is like incredibly similar in color. I'll put them side by side in a second. But this is from Less Traveled Yarn, and it is in the colorway Devil's Bridge Creosote Collection. And this one is 75% merino, 25% nylon. And it's beautiful. But look at, I'm gonna put them together. And like they're the same, even though they're from different dyers and they're different percentages of merino wool. Like they're so close. So I almost didn't get them, but since one's all wool and one's sock yarn, yeah, I did. And then I got one, it was totally different. This is definitely my favorite. It's from, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time enunciating today. It might be the muscle relaxers. It's from Hedgehog Farms, which is made in Ireland, and it's called Potion. And look at it. Oh my gosh, I would have actually gotten more than one skein if there had been more than one skein. It's one of the prettiest yarns I've ever seen. It's just so saturated and rich and variegated. It's just all the things. It's all. So I told you I had a ton. I'm not done. Like I have 3 more things, I think. So sorry, not sorry. Like obviously you have a pause or a stop, so feel free to use them if you want to. So one thing that I've been trying to get forever is the Share a Pair from Mandys Makings. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with her, but if you are, you will know that Amanda's yarn like gets sold out in like 5 minutes, maybe not even that. But I finally, excuse the burp, did you hear that? I finally got it. So this is her June Share a Pair, which is also the same as her summer sock camp yarn. So I've been trying to get this like multiple times. I don't think that the original summer sock had sparkles though. I'm almost positive it didn't. I think that's the difference. So really cute. I'm not a huge fan of the yellow. I love the other one. I'm just not, so there's two of them. And I'm gonna give my daughter one. I'm just not a big fan of yellow in general. So I'm gonna have to figure out, I think I'm gonna do just a really small part of the cuff in yellow and then start in with this color, which I think is great. And then I'll do the heels and toes. And hopefully I will have enough, because what she does is she takes 100 grams of this color and then 100 grams of this color, and she splits them. So these are 250 grams, and then so you get 2 sets and each color is 50 grams. So I think I'll do shorty socks just to make sure that I'm okay. So that's that. Okay, so then the next thing I want to talk about is a present that my dear, dear mother-in-law gave me. So she's been so sweet. She's been bringing me lunch, and she's been keeping me company when she brings me lunch, which I've been lonely. Like, I'm not working and I'm not going places. So my husband has been like the best ever, but he does work. So when he's at work, yeah, it's been pretty lonely. So she's just been a godsend. If you're watching, Helen, thank you so much. I love you so much. And she got me this yarn. Look at how pretty it is. It is 100% mercerized cotton, which I don't usually use. And so if you have ideas, like, I don't want to do dishcloths. It seems like that's like one of the big things that people do. And then another thing is doilies, but I don't know. I don't think this really, I could make a doily. I crochet too, but this colorway just doesn't say doily to me anyway. And it's just one skein, so you know that limits it to what you can make. So I've just, like, I want to make something lovely and special because it's like a cherished present, and I love the colorway. So any suggestions that you have that fits that criteria, I would so appreciate. And then she didn't just give me that. Let's see if I can show it well. She gave me this set of stitch markers. Okay, and they are so cute. Look at the cat in the teapot, but that's not even my favorite. My favorites are these little light bulbs. And let's see. This is my favorite. It's a light bulb with a little fish in it. Yeah, it's not focusing as well as I would want, but you get the picture. Okay, well, I was gonna say I was almost done, but I'm not. So I'm gonna disappear for a second. Let me take off my microphone. Oh my gosh, she had me just drooling for so long, because it's like maybe twice a week she would, you know, take a picture of one of them, and then she would explain, like, this is the haunted house, and this is why, and this is the inspiration, and then she would have some video of the haunted house. And I don't know, for some reason, like, it brought back so many good memories of Disneyland. And then it was just like, she's really kind of brilliant as far as her inspiration and how they work together. And so I felt very fortunate. I did set a timer, and I did get the whole mini set. So it's, I think, 10, and they're 20 grams. And so I love this. I actually want to make something out of just that. Like I might have like a neutral color that I use to augment, but I'm thinking maybe a shawl or a cowl. Probably a cowl. Yeah, I'm thinking a cowl. Okay. I'm almost done with my Happy Mail, and then I'm going to do my Scrappy project, which is, or my Scrappy Swap, which was super, super exciting. Okay, so I got something from Simply Yarn Company. I haven't bought from them before, but they have, like, if you look at their menu, they have like a category that's like yarns on sale. And oh my goodness, I will link it below because you need to go there if you want to augment your stash. They had yarns that are normally, you know, like kind of the premium $22 to $30 price that were like $16, $18. So, of course, I bought a few. I bought some Regia. I know I'm saying that wrong. Before, but the other one that's really well known for having like the pattern, and you just knit it like a vanilla sock, but it comes up with a pattern, is Opal. And so I bought this. Let's see, does it show a picture? I don't think that that's gonna be big enough to show, but yeah, and there's glare. But you can see that it like stripes and it's interesting. And I really like, and I hadn't bought anything that has the black intertwined, so it kind of gives you that zebra effect. So I got that. And then Unique is something that I've always loved. And so I got this, and it was like half the price of what I've ever bought Unique with. And this one, I don't think it's fingering. What size is it? This one is a DK. So I might do DK socks with that one. Although it's 100%, I believe it's 100%, yeah, wool. I just went a little crazy buying, and it actually wasn't all superwash merino and nylon. So this one is called Lanera's Barefoot. Oh, this one was really interesting. This one is 100% superwash Uruguayan Polwarth, and it's 4-ply. And so they claim, I am going to make socks out of this, even though it's 100% wool, because they claim that 3 strands are going one way, and then the 4th strand they have go the other way, and you know, and then they twist it, and that makes it the same strength as a 75-25 sock yarn, and that, you know, it's better for the earth, it's not using nylon, etc. So I'm curious about it. I'll let you know how that goes. And then this one I bought, it's called Colossal Sock because it's 150 grams. I really like it, and I'm hoping that my husband likes it because he has huge feet, size 14, double wide, and he likes long socks. So I'm hoping he likes this because that would make a great pair of socks that will take me, you know, a bajillion years. Okay, so that brings me to the Scrappy Swap. Okay, so I did a Scrappy Swap. Natalie, who is known as Knittynatty on YouTube and Instagram, has a membership community, and it's called Love and Stitches. And I belong to that, and so she had this great idea to do a Scrappy Swap. And so I signed up to do it, and I got Lucy from England, which was super exciting because obviously she's going to be giving me English yarn and I'm going to be able to give her American yarn. So we started corresponding. I adore her. I want to be best friends and visit her. I don't know that she feels the same way about me, but I adore her. And she has recently started a podcast as well. And so I will link that below because you should definitely go watch her podcast. So she sent me a fabulous box. And I'm going to show you. I got it quite a while ago, but again, broke my shoulder, so I haven't been able to share. So some things that she got me that are unique to England. Look at that huge candy bar. Yorkshire tea. Tons of single teas. Cadbury hot chocolate, which I will definitely be trying when it's a little cooler. She got me Jacob's mini cheddars. You could see that lasted a long time. She also got me Ritz, like tiny Ritz, which are really good. We have Ritz here, but we don't, I've never seen the tiny ones. But then she got, I'm not gonna say ornery, but did something that maybe some of you have experienced before. She got me Marmite. If you don't know what Marmite is, you're definitely not alone. It calls itself a yeast extract. And if you think, that doesn't sound very good, I'm gonna agree with you. When I was in high school, we had a foreign exchange student from Australia, and they are really big into Vegemite. I don't know the difference between Marmite and Vegemite. I've tried them both, and to me, they taste the same. But I'm sure a connoisseur of one or the other could probably tell the difference. It's kind of like, oh, I can tell the difference between Pepsi and Coke, you know? So that's probably true of Marmite and Vegemite. So having said that, I know I don't care for Vegemite, but she also sent me Marmite rice cakes. So I thought, well, maybe my tastes have changed. That happens. Maybe they're really good on a rice cake. So I tried one, took 2 bites. Still not a fan. I really, really think it's a very acquired taste, but very unique to England and Australia. And I very much appreciate her sending that and me trying it. I am trying to get my family to try it as well, and nobody will do it yet. So let's see. I'll see if I can challenge them. This is the card she sent. How cute is that? Okay, and now I'm going to quickly show you the yarn, and then I'll be done. She has exquisite taste, and I just love it. She did have little wrappings on it with the colorways and stuff, and I saved those, but they were too cumbersome to show. So we did 15, and I'm telling you, like, I love all of the ones. And look at, she sent some stitch markers along as well. And this is another thing that I want to make something that is just this, so I can be like, this is from my English friend, and have that special memory. Here's pretty heart. I even like this yellow, and I am not generally a fan of yellow. Here's this one. That stitch marker. There's this one. Oh goodness, can you hear my, look at that's kind of like a mermaid. Can you hear my dog. That is the dog. That's Charlie who tripped me. Bad dog. There's this one. Oh, that's all washed out. You can't tell how pretty it is. This stitch marker. Almost done. Such a pretty pink. And this is a llama or an alpaca. This is, I think, the only solid color. I think I just sent her one solid color too. It's remarkable how close some of our stuff was. This one. So she has more greens than I would say I normally do, which I love the variety and things that I wouldn't normally pick. And like I normally wouldn't pick these two, but I think they're great. And then here's the last one. And it's got a star. So I so love the swap, and I love her taste, and I'm so happy that we did it. And the Love and Stitches is like the best community. We do Zooms, and we talk on Discord, and yeah, it's just, and then we do fun, you know, make-alongs and stuff. So if that's something that, you know, if you're looking for more community with knitting and crocheting specifically, I would highly recommend that you look into that. But I think that I have talked enough. I'm sure that you probably agree. If you enjoyed this, I thank you so much. I thank you for watching it to the end. And if you did enjoy it, if you like it or subscribe it or share it, that always is helpful to me, and I always appreciate that. And I hope that you have a wonderful week, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.